I just returned from Holy Thursday service, which is a very powerful service, which ends with the host being removed, the altar being stripped, and the host being removed from the church itself and taken to a place, a sanctuary outside the church, signifying the death of Christ until his resurrection, when the host comes back into the church on Sunday. And something that the priests at my particular church have talked about, have drawn attention to, is how good it is to be able to be in an actual physical church with people, unlike last year when we weren't able to do such a thing. And that sticks in my craw a little bit, because some sort of the mentality that seems to be prevalent, even though it may not be intended with this kind of rhetoric, with this kind of talk, is that we should be happy that they're letting us worship. We should be happy that this is being permitted to us. Whereas last year it wasn't permitted for us out of necessity, right? But no, that is absolutely not the truth. The truth is, it is ours by right. We have the right to worship as we so choose. And that right is inalienable, and it cannot be taken away from us. And neither the federal authorities, nor the state authorities, nor even the church authorities, working in accordance with, what last year was this insane lockdown that in the state of Georgia here went on for a couple of months for like 2.5 months before it was finally pretty much lifted at the end of May. But began early to mid-March. And the church, part of what I spoke of last year in videos that are now just gone, lost into the ether, because YouTube nuked my channel that I had, my main channel. But what I talked about then was how frustrating it was and how dispiriting it was that the church had allowed itself to be put into this, had cooperated, had agreed to be treated, or to treat itself as if it were inessential. And so when I hear my priests saying these things about being thankful that we're back again, unlike last year when we couldn't be, again, I understand what he's saying, and I am thankful too. But on the other hand, we cannot have this kind of mentality where they, what is ours by right, what is ours because we are created by God with these rights, one of which is the right to assemble, one of which is the right to worship, that can be removed from us, and that we ought to not take it for granted, that we ought to feel lucky that we have it. No. We should not feel lucky that we have it. We should not feel like it's out of the beneficence of the state or even church authorities or any authorities above us. We should not have that mindset or that attitude. It was an atrocity that it was taken from us during Holy Week of all times. The church doors were locked. on Easter. How can that be forgiven? How can that possibly not reverberate through the years as a crime against the faithful and a crime against God? You know, yes, they had those stupid virtual masses. Those were nothing. Virtual masses are, masses are meant to be participated in. Masses are meant to be, the central part of the Mass is the reception of the body and blood. You cannot do that if you're just watching it on your computer screen. I'm not saying there's no value ever in watching worship be done on a screen, but I'm saying when that's the only possibility that there is, and you're denied reception of the host, then you are, again, it's not something you should feel lucky. It's not something that you should feel fortunate about. It's something that is yours by right. It's something that is it is God's will that we have access to. And may we never let it happen again. Never again. Never again another Holy Week where we're shut out of church. Never again another Easter where we're not allowed to worship. Never, ever, ever again.